Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a brand new pick a card for you guys today, and today we are asking the question, what is happening the rest of 2021? So yeah, this is basically going to be a year wrap-up kind of reading because it's like the end of July right now. I probably actually would have done this reading maybe like early July or sometime in June, but I was still busy with the moving and unpacking process and stuff that I didn't do it sooner. But it's pretty much like the remaining 6 months of 2021. We've obviously experienced and done the first half of the year. Now we're just going to basically check in and see what the second half of the year has in store for you. And it's just going to be a general reading, so it could be in regards to anything in your life. It could be love, your career, your family, your friendships, your health, your overall well-being, whatever it is you need to know. So that's basically what we're going to be looking at for this reading, just what you can expect for the rest of the year up until December 31st of 2021 when the clock strikes midnight and we head into 2022. Pretty crazy. I can't even believe we're like in the 2020s in the first place. Like, when did that happen? So that's pretty much what this reading is. Before I get started, you guys, as always, make sure that you leave a comment down below. That always helps me out. And give this video a big thumbs up because that is helpful too. And if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell because then you know about every time there's a new reading or when I go live, and then you can jump in and participate and be a part of those as well. And speaking of that, I am live every Mondays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, so you are welcome to join in on that as well. So that's what's happening with lives, and I am open for private readings too. So if you guys resonate with me as a reader and you're interested in, really diving in depth and getting a private reading done, feel free to hit me up, shoot me an email, and we can do that as well. So information for private readings as well as live readings and pretty much anything you would know, anywhere that you would need to find me on social media or whatever, it's all in the description box below. So all the information is there for you. Anyway, let's get into these pile introductions here and see what our choices are for your piles. So pile number 1, we have a little citrine stone, a little citrine crystal. So they're all kind of little crystals today, but they're all good, they're all helpful. So citrine is pile number 1. Pile number 2, we have actually a pyrite cube. It's like a little cube here pretty much. It actually has a little sticky thing on it still. I couldn't seem to get off from where I got it at, but yeah, we have a little pyrite cube for pile number 2. Pile number 3, we have some sunset aura quartz, not to be confused with the citrine. This is not a citrine, it is sunset aura quartz for pile number 3. They kind of look a little similar, but I believe this one is a little bit more of like a golden, almost copperish kind of tone as opposed to the citrine. The citrine doesn't have that. This one has like a little bit more of a reddish undertone. And pile number 4, I actually do not remember what this crystal is at all. It looks like clear quartz. It's not though. I don't think it is because, I mean, it may be kind of hard to see. Maybe if I put it up against my skin, I don't know. But it has like a light blue kind of tint to it. It might be kind of hard to tell in this light, but there are certain ways you can kind of see it. If I move it in certain ways, you can see there's like a blue tint in it. But this one is pile number 4. So those are your 4 different pile options. So go ahead and pick the crystal that resonates with you, or the number of the pile, or the numbers on the timestamps, whatever it is that clicks and works with you the best. Go ahead and choose and select that. Otherwise, we're going to get started here with pile number 1, the citrine pile. Hi, pile one. If you chose the citrine crystal, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what is in store for you for the rest of 2021. So your second half of 2021 reading. All right, hopefully we get some good insight here. So we have the Tarot de la Nuit that we're going to be looking at today. And I'm just going to go ahead and lay the cards down, and then we'll deep dive into it and see what's going on, connect all the dots. So you guys have the World, the Two of Cups, Temperance, the Four of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. Okay, so far what I'm getting from this group here, let's see. Well, right off the bat, I am definitely getting a love vibe here. And naturally, the first thing that makes me think of that here is our Two of Cups, because the Two of Cups is usually about a partnership. Of course, this can be any kind of partnership. It can be in love, it can be in business, it could be just like you and your best friend, basically. So it could be any kind of pairing, any kind of partnership, but due to the nature of just like the type of questions I know people like to ask, and a lot of the times people want to know about love, and not just the fact that I know that's what people are very curious about, but just kind of like the overall thing here coming through with the rest of the cards, which I'm going to get to in a minute. It definitely comes across as a lovey-dovey kind of vibe. So I do feel like there is love for you in the second half of 2021, that most likely you probably already have a particular person in mind. This could be someone that you're already with. It could be, just someone that you have a strong connection with. It could be a twin flame, a soulmate, a divine counterpart, any of those kinds of things. But I definitely feel like you are going to be experiencing things and going on a journey with them. Like, I don't mean like a physical journey, like traveling, although who knows, maybe you'll travel, who knows. But more so that they are going to be a heavy part of the second half of your year, that they are going to be a big part of it, a huge impact on it. They're going to be a huge part of that story. So we definitely have some love coming in, or love that's already been there that's going to be a big impact. Although I'm getting like kind of an impatience vibe. And that definitely likes to come through a lot. And I always tell people that if you're naturally kind of an impatient person and you resonate with me as a reader, there's a reason for that, because I myself can be very impatient. So it's like we're kind of on the same vibe. We're both kind of like trying to navigate our impatience and being like, okay, we got to cool our jets and not be so like wound up about things at time. And the reason why I'm talking about impatience here is you guys also have Temperance. And Temperance is actually a really good thing. Temperance is usually about things becoming balanced out, things evening out, where there was once, lack and problems and like things were unequal. It's like the scales balance out and things shift and things come together. But usually in order for that type of balance, that type of beautiful balance to happen, it usually takes patience. A lot of the times when I see Temperance, it's basically like AKA patience when this one pops out to me. And I feel like the patience was kind of doubly emphasized here, not just with Temperance, but then you guys also got the Four of Swords. Now, Four of Swords can be about healing, which I feel like basically in the second half of 2021, you guys are going to be healing a lot of that impatience. You guys are going to be healing a lot of that need to always look at the clock and look at the time and be like, when are they going to call me? When are they going to text me? Like, I'm running out. Like, I want to be a mom and I'm running out of time with my female biology here, or whatever it is that you're freaking out about. Because once again, if you look at this card, the girl here, she looks really brokenhearted. She looks upset. There's kind of like this webbing and stuff going on around her, and she's curled up here in like the fetal position near a clock. She's just like staring at the clock. So I feel like she's basically really upset because she's got her eyes on the clock. You know, she's all wound up in the timing of things. It's like, it's not happening fast enough. It's not coming together when I want it to. It's not happening on my timetable, kind of a thing. You know, it's like, when, God, when, basically. So I feel like that's kind of in you guys a lot, and I feel I would love to tell you like, oh, you're gonna magically become patient within the last 6 months of 2021. I don't think that's what the message is. I feel like the message is more so there's going to be tests coming your way to see how patient you truly are, which sucks. But it's only through those tests that we can heal from it. So I do feel like there is going to be healing here in regards to your patience, especially regarding the timing of things. But it's going to be a good thing because you are going to be more patient than out of it. And you are going to be healed from your impatience. And therefore, once that impatience is healed, you're going to see things even out. You're going to see things become balanced. It can't become balanced while you're impatient, while your eyes are fixated on the clock. And I feel like once you're no longer impatient and once things start to even out, it's only when things even out that you can basically be given the world. You know, the world is basically, it's in a sense like everything kind of turning 180. It's pretty much being given the world. It's like your world totally shifting. And I feel like your world is going to shift from this unbalanced, like unhappy position where maybe you were sitting around looking at the clock because you were just like, I texted him, he still hasn't texted me back. It's been like all day, he hasn't texted me back. It's been a week, he hasn't texted me back. Whatever amount of time, he has not texted me back, kind of thing. But that's not going to bother you anymore. And then it's like when it doesn't bother you anymore, you're going to see things balance out. You're going to see your whole world here shift and change. And then boom, you're suddenly going to get that contact out of nowhere when you least expect it. And the reason why that's going to happen, it's going to be a couple of things. Number one, with the Ace of Swords here, the Ace of Swords is a new way of thinking, a new way of looking at things. It's a new perspective. It's just a new way of looking at things. So it's like, in a sense, it's going to be shifting your beliefs. It's going to be shifting what you think about. And because you're shifting your thoughts from impatience and I'm running out of time, you'll be shifting your thoughts to, I have all the time in the world. Like, everything's totally cool. Everything's go with the flow. And then because you shift your mind, they wind up shifting their mind, and then they develop new beliefs and new thoughts, and then they kind of, look at their phone or whatever, and they're like, you know what? I really should reach out to this person. They've been really kind to me, and they've reached out to me, and, they're just trying to be supportive or encouraging or whatever it is that you've been doing. And then it's just going to like click for them, and they're going to be like, yeah, you know what? I should really say something. Like, I should really respond to this. And then they're going to have a new way of thinking with that, where maybe they haven't thought that way before. And then that's going to lead them to be in the position of the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles is someone who comes along with a very real, genuine, and authentic offer. This is an offer that is presented to you in the physical. It is like a part of the material world. So it could be a gift, it could be a present, it could be an invitation to go out. It could be a lot of different things, but it's definitely something that's a part of the 3D world. This is not just some woo-woo in your dreams kind of thing. It's something that will definitely happen in your awake life, basically, in your physical world. And I feel like that shift, that change of perspective with the thoughts and everything will wind up provoking them to make an offer towards you, to actually come near you and say, hey, You know, I am going to go ahead and text this person now. And then they text you and they're like, hey, it's been a long time. I'm so sorry I haven't said anything, you know, and they may make a couple of excuses or whatever, but I feel like their heart is going to be genuinely in the right place. But they're going to be like, hey, I'm sorry I haven't said anything sooner. You know, I hope you're doing okay. Why don't we get together for dinner or lunch or, you know, whatever it is. Like, let's just find a time to meet and catch up and see how life is and stuff. So yeah, that's how the world is definitely going to shift. But it all starts with you healing this impatience. I feel like that's going to be like the big focus for you guys for the second half of 2020. So there's beautiful things ahead as long as you do that, but it starts with knocking that impatient spirit out of you. We also have some cards here from the Psychic Tarot of the Heart. And you guys have sadness and isolation, the Master, awaiting results, refusing to see, new vitality, and blossom. Okay, so with sadness and isolation, I feel like there may be times where you may feel this, you know, in the second half of 2021. Not because things aren't going to go well, not because things are not going to turn out right, but simply because when we are struggling to heal something, and it's something that we really struggle with big time, like with you guys, it seems to be impatience. So, you know, if impatience is really hard for you, sometimes you can kind of feel alone in that. Sometimes you can feel like for example, like let's say it's the whole thing of you just want to, you know, get married and have babies, and maybe you've seen everybody else around you get married and have babies, and you feel like you're just so behind, and you're like, I want to get married and have babies too. And it's not because everybody else is doing it and it's the new and cool trendy thing to do, but it's because it's just something that you genuinely desire in your heart. But sometimes when we're so fixated on the timing with that and everything, we can feel very alone when it's like everybody else is in this other season of their lives and we're not quite there yet. That doesn't mean we're not going to get there, but because we're not there, it can feel very isolating. It can make us feel very sad. So I do feel like there may be times, you know, over the course of like the next 6 months or whatever, where you guys may be feeling like that. Especially as you're working through the impatience that you have. And I feel like this would wind up popping up more so in those moments when you're feeling impatient. Like during the times that you're kind of, you know, go with the flow, easy peasy, I don't think you're going to feel this way. But during the times where you're really being tested, you may wind up feeling like this. So I'm just forewarning you guys. I'm not saying you're always going to be like that that's going to be the end result, but that could be something that you may struggle with. And we also have the Master. So the Master is somebody who keeps his heart basically locked away and guarded up. You know, as you can see on this card, his heart does seem to be inside of a prison. It's like it's inside a little jail cell. It's behind bars. And it's not that this man doesn't want to like have love or reach out and experience love or be vulnerable, but he's scared. And it's probably because he's been hurt in the past. So instead, it's easier for him to put up these walls and these boundaries and protect his heart. And while I am totally an advocate for protecting your heart and being careful, the problem is sometimes people take it a step too far and they do it to the point where then they don't let anything in. And that's kind of the case of this person here with the Master. Now, I don't feel like you guys are the ones here who has your hearts locked up. Like, especially if you're feeling impatient with your Two of Cups here, you're probably more than willing to expose your heart in all of its nakedness to this other person. I feel like the person that you are struggling with here with the impatience, they're the ones who probably have their hearts locked up. So it's basically to verify to you guys that if you're struggling with them, if they're not coming forward to you, it's not because of you. It's not because they hate you or they're against you or they don't like you or anything like that. In fact, they probably care about you more than they probably care about themselves. But it's because they are so scared and they are living in such fear. That's why they don't come near you. That's why they don't do the things that they want to do, the things that they should do for both of you guys. So I feel like sometimes when they do this and they lock themselves away, once again, that's something that brings to you guys that sadness and isolation while your patience is being tested. And speaking of patience, obviously we have awaiting results. I feel like that just kind of verifies, once again, this whole patience thing. Patience is a big thing for you guys. And like literally, if you guys don't need this pile, then maybe this pile is for me, because I'm like, my goodness, I need to listen to my own message. Then we have refusing to see. And once again, I feel like this kind of ties in here with the master. I feel like that kind of ties in with the person who has their heart locked up, which is probably your person. And it's simply because they refuse to see. They refuse to see that they can be vulnerable, that they can be open, that they can experience a new beginning, a healthy beginning, a better beginning in love. You know, maybe they went through toxic relationships in the past or someone really hurt them, and that's the thing that kind of robs them of how they are now. But they're not opening their eyes to see that not every person is toxic and not every person is going to hurt them. And that, you know, like you, the person who's watching this, is probably, you know, the most caring and doting person that they've ever met in their life for them, and would basically be like an angel to them, but they're refusing to see that. And, you know, I feel like they're going to continue to refuse to see that as long as you're impatient. I feel like the more patient you are and the more kind of just chill you are, the more it gives them the opportunity to actually see, so then they can actually let their heart out of that jail cell. And once you do, once you start being more patient and going with the flow and healing that part of yourself, you're going to breathe a new vitality into this connection. You're going to breathe a new vitality into this relationship, into yourself and into that other person, because like I said, they're finally going to like tear those walls down and say, hey, you know what? Like, maybe I should give this a chance, because me sitting here all alone by myself, that really isn't much better. And I'm still in just as much pain, alone and isolated and not even trying, than actually giving something a chance. So I feel like it's going to breathe this new life into your situation, which is kind of like that shifting here with the world. And then you guys are going to see things blossom. You're just going to see things grow and take off. So considering this is like the next 6 months or whatever, you know, leading up until the end of the year, probably a little bit shorter than 6 months, because we're like, it's late July, but whatever. You know what I mean? The second half of the year. So you could be struggling with the impatience part, you know, maybe through like the rest of summer, going into fall, that kind of thing. But you never know, maybe around the holidays, maybe by the time Thanksgiving and Christmas and that kind of stuff starts to arrive, you could start seeing your connection with this person blossom and have like a totally new and better chapter. And what better time to experience than the holiday season anyways, right? That's amazing. So I feel like it's going to be this wonderful, amazing transformation that's going to be happening for you guys in love throughout the end of the year. And then who knows, maybe by New Year's Eve, going into 2022, this person will be your kiss into the new year, and it'll be just amazing and fantastic and so incredibly happy. Anyway, I have a card here from Loving Words from Jesus to wrap things up with you guys, because in my opinion, a Bible verse a day helps keep the bad vibes away. and you guys got Be Not Afraid, Only Believe, Mark 5:36. And that is very fitting with this message here about patience. You know, I feel like a lot of the times the reason why we fall into impatience is because we buy into our fears. We buy into our fears of, if this doesn't happen quick enough, if this doesn't happen by this time or whatever, you know, I'm not going to be happy. Things aren't going to work out. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever the excuses are. So it's really our fears that gets us tied up into the world of impatience. So you got to stop listening to your fear. The more you just have faith and you trust and you believe, the easier it's going to be for you to just go with the flow and say, hey, when it happens, kind of a thing. And, you know, right now it's saying that this could really unfold into a beautiful thing throughout the rest of the year, going into New Year's, basically. But if you keep being impatient, I'm pretty sure that this could keep going into the next year and the year after that and the year after that and the year after that. So the key here is to heal that impatience and to believe. Believing will help you do that. So that's basically what I have going on here for you guys today. Hopefully that message resonated and made sense. If the message did not flow, of course, just let it go. But if it did hit home for you, then please let me know and leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Also, please give this video a big thumbs up. That definitely helps me out a lot. And feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know of future videos when they are on the way. And that way then you will know whenever a new video goes up, you'll be notified. You'll be notified whenever I go live. So once again, I would love to have you guys for any of the lives when I'm on for that. Private readings are open too and available, so go ahead and reach out to me about those as well. All the information is in the description box down below, of course. And yeah, that's basically that. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you so much for hanging out here with me for a little bit today. It definitely warms my heart and means the world to me. So yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day or night, or you know, whatever time it is for you. Keep sparkling. I am sending you lots of hugs and much love. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose the Cube of Pyrite, Fool's Gold, basically, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what is in store for the rest of your 2021. So yes, indeed, that's what we're going to look into today. All right, we're going to start off here with the Tarot de la Nuit. And I'm just going to go ahead and lay the cards down, and we'll see how they exactly connect together and what the story is here for you guys. Okay, so we have the Hanged Man, the Queen of Cups, the Two of Swords, the Four of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Empress. Ooh, very nice. Okay. So, you know, as usual, lots of times when, you know, I do these readings, I always intend for it to be general, just because I want to leave it open for whatever needs to come through, you know, whether it's like a career thing or a love thing or whatever. But as usual, I always normally get the love vibe from a lot of these, simply because I know that that's where a lot of people's hearts are. A lot of people's hearts are, you know, with a particular person, or, you know, have a particular desire to meet that particular person, or whatever it is. So I'm definitely feeling some love kind of stuff here, but, you know, always keep it open. If you feel that this is more fitting to a different situation for you, then please take it how it resonates in your particular situation. So we have the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man is usually a very introspective type of card. It's not a busy or loud card filled with action and doing and all that other kind of stuff. The Hanged Man is usually someone who is, it kind of reminds me of the Hermit. There's like hermity kind of vibes that I get with the Hangman, just because when you're in hermit mode, you're going within, you're being introspective, you're kind of just like being within yourself and spending like a lot of time in prayer and meditation, and you're just very reflective, you're very thoughtful and that kind of thing. And the Hanged Man is a very similar kind of energy. The difference though between the Hermit and the Hanged Man is the Hanged Man is usually developing a new perspective, which is why they're kind of flipped upside down. It's like the world gets flipped upside down, and then because their world is flipped upside down, they kind of wind up flipping upside down in the way they view things, because then they're just like, oh, I never looked at things that way before. I never saw it that way before. It's almost kind of like almost like an awakening in a sense, like just like a dawning on of different things. It's like light bulb moments and stuff. So I feel like for you guys, in a lot of ways, the second half of 2021 for you guys is going to be very introspective. You're going to be very reflective on a lot of things. And I feel like ever since last year, a lot of people have had a lot of opportunities to be in that Hanged Man position, where everyone's been kind of reflective and going within because everybody's basically been inside. Not to say that you're not going to get out and you're not going to do things at all for the last half of the year, because I'm sure you will. But I'm just saying from an internal perspective, I feel like you guys are going to be very reflective, very pensive in a sense for the second half of 2021. And I feel like the matters that are going to be reflecting to you, that you're going to be concentrating in, will likely be involving love, because then we have the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is someone who is full of love. Love is her thing. Cups is love. Cups is emotion. She's a very emotional person, but she's very loving. And the key to her love is the fact that she loves herself first. She is very good at self-love. And because she knows how to fill her own cups, and she knows how to keep her cups filled, and she is so filled with self-love, she is easily able to give that love away freely to others with no problems whatsoever. So I feel like this is kind of a description of you guys and where you guys may be at during the last half of 2021. And I feel like you guys are going to be really developing a lot of self-love and giving a lot of love away to other people, simply because you have had these opportunities to kind of go within, and it makes you think, and you're like, you know what, the world really needs a lot more love. I need a lot more love. Other people need a lot more love. In a way, you're just going to be really working on your love walk, is what it comes down to here. So I do feel like love is a big theme here. And that doesn't necessarily have to be just romantic love. That could just be love to anybody. It could be love to your particular person. It could be love to your friends, your family. It could be love towards, your neighbors. It could be love towards the barista that makes you your coffee. It could be love towards anybody. You can show love to anyone. Everybody needs a little bit of extra love. But I do feel like, because love is going to be such a big thing for you, it's almost in a sense going to put you more so in this position of becoming the Empress. And the Empress is really the embodiment of all the queens, of every single one of them. The cups, the wands, the swords, the pentacles, everything. Now, I feel like you guys are going to be embodying that Empress energy pretty much throughout the end of the year, probably with an emphasis in love and emotions, since the Queen of Cups came out too. But I do feel like you guys are going to be basically embodying all of that. And, no one just becomes the Empress overnight. That is something that takes time to hone in on, that takes time to develop. And I feel like, once again, that's something that's going to be developed here from this Hanged Man type of position. Being introspective, going within, looking at things in a new way. So I feel like that's really where a lot of that stuff is going to come from. And because of that, I feel like it's going to put you into a place where you're going to be making some choices. Because the Two of Swords is about making choices. And it's also, the Two of Swords can be tricky because it can also be kind of like this double-minded state of mind. That's what I always think of with the Two of Swords, is being double-minded. So it's like you could be stuck between two different options, two different choices, but it could be really, really hard for you to choose between the two because you see the pros and the cons of both sides. And then because you see the pros of the cons of both sides, you don't really wind up making a decision. You just kind of wind up standing with your feet in both places. It's almost like if you were standing on like state boundaries or something. You know, it's like, think of like Four Corners, for example. Like Four Corners is like, it's where Colorado, Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico all meet. And basically it's like you could put your foot in one state and you could have your other foot in the other one. And then you're technically in two different states at the same time. And I feel like that's basically how you're going to be feeling with some things as you're developing these new perspectives, that you could be kind of double-minded, like you can't make up your mind, you're kind of stuck in two different places at the same time. But the problem with that is when we're being double-minded, we don't go anywhere. Like the only way you're going to go somewhere is if you actually make a decision. And even if it's the wrong decision, it's okay because God knows exactly how to get you right back on track. It may be a detour. It might have to be the long route, but He'll still get you back on track. He'll still get you to where you're supposed to be and where you need to go. But the only way you're going to go is if you make a decision. And there's also a chance that you won't make the wrong decisions, that you might actually make the right one and blow your own mind and be just like, oh wow, this actually turned out really good. Everything's just fine. So I feel like there may be some tendencies at some point over the course of the next few months where you may find yourself a little double-minded. You may struggle in making some decisions. And it could be in regards, once again, to love, because we do have quite a bit of, you know, that cup and love kind of energy coming in. And we have the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is like a new beginning. It's like a fresh new beginning in love. Pages are, you know, they're not the knights. So they're not the ones who are usually taking action about it. Pages I kind of look at as more like the ones who are thinking about doing something. They're not necessarily quite ready to take action and to do something just yet. But I feel like there's a lot of thinking energy behind that. So, you know, once again, I feel like, you know, you may wind up thinking here about, you know, taking some action when it comes to love, doing some things dealing with love. It could be coming out of these perspective shifts here with the Hanged Man, and it could be a part of the decisions here that you have trouble making your mind up on with the Two of Swords. But I do feel like it's definitely all in regards to love. It could be you deciding on a particular person, on what it is that you want to do. And it could also be flip-flop. This could also be them being introspective and trying to make a decision and thinking about coming towards you. So it could be flip-flop as well. But either way, I feel like the end result is good because, like I said, even if a wrong decision is made, God is always going to put you right back on track to where it is that you need to be, to where you need to go, even if it's the long route. But even more so, I feel like it's all going to turn out well because you guys have the Four of Wands. And most of you guys are probably familiar with the Four of Wands being union, 11-11, you know, twin flames basically coming together, that kind of thing. So because we do kind of have like this happily ever after card coming through, I do feel like the end result with, you know, all this introspection and making decisions and, you know, new beginnings in love, whether it's with someone you already know or a fresh new person altogether, it's all going to turn out exactly the way it needs to. It's going to turn out with a happy ending in a way that's going to be good for everybody. And even if you look at this card, you know, she kind of looks like she's kind of daydreaming in a sense, like she's daydreaming about her dreams coming true and everything working out and going well for her. So I do feel like that will wind up being the end result for you. We also have some cards here from the Psychic Tarot of the Heart, and we're going to see what we have for you guys there. We have the solar plexus chakra, teach, love, rest and reconsider, dreams coming true, and shine. Okay, so first of all, we have the solar plexus chakra here, and our solar plexus chakra is basically in our stomach area. It's pretty much our gut. So whenever I see this card come out, I always basically intuitively go, trust your gut, because that's where your solar plexus is. So, you know, at the end of the day, in life and in love, we really do know what's best for us, even if we have a hard time making choices at times. We do know what is best for us. And the best way to do that is to tap into our own intuition and to trust our gut. So I do feel like you're going to be given opportunities from here on out to the end of the year where you're going to be asked to basically trust your gut. And with teach, because you guys are going to be so introspective here at certain points during the year, I feel like all the things that you learn and all the new perspectives that kind of hit you and come to you over the course of the next few months, you're going to wind up eventually teaching this to other people. That doesn't mean that you're going to be standing up in front of a classroom with a chalkboard behind you or something like that and like actually teaching. It could just be sitting down having a heart-to-heart conversation about what you're experiencing and what you're feeling with a friend. And maybe that winds up teaching your friend something that they never realized or knew before, and it becomes this learning experience for them. So it doesn't have to be in some big and grand way, but I do feel like because of what you're learning and what you're experiencing right now, you're eventually going to wind up passing on those little goodies and those little nuggets of information to other people. And it's going to help others too. You know, what's helping you is going to help others. And we have love. And like I said, I felt very strongly that this was definitely about love. We got the cups coming through, the page and the queen, and, you know, the 4 of Wands there with union. So like I said, I feel like this kind of emphasizes not only love, but I feel like it emphasizes union as well, because, you know, look at these two. They're happy, they're in love, they look like they're in union. It looks like that happy ending that you guys are basically looking for and waiting for. And with rest and reconsider, I feel like this is basically kind of code for the Hanged Man, because the Hanged Man basically does that. He rests, you know, he's in a position of rest, and, you know, he's not moving anywhere, he's not doing anything. Like I said, he's not a card of action. And with reconsider, that's kind of like that upside down position of, it's like you start to see things in a different way. You start to see things from a different perspective you never did before. So I feel like rest and reconsider here is basically just a emphasis here on that Hanged Man of something that you're going to be doing throughout the end of the year. I don't feel like it's, you know, rest and reconsider your love, of course, unless that's something that winds up hitting you throughout the course of things, but whatever it is that you wind up resting and reconsidering on, it's going to lead you to love. It's going to lead you to your dreams coming true, is what it comes down to here. Because like I said, you guys got the 4 of Wands there, which is union, 1111. That's basically a lot of people's definition of their dreams coming true. So I do feel like dreams will come true here. And with shine, I feel like by the time you get to the end of the year and by the time you've kind of gone through this whole process, you're just going to shine and radiate and glow and sparkle right on through it. Whether it's during the time you're kind of in that Hanged Man position, or whether you're teaching other people about the different things that you've gone through and been through, or whether it's when you finally hit that point of union, and of course you shine and you glow through that. So either way, this whole experience here is just going to make you shine like the diamond that you really are. So finally, we have a card here from Loving Words from Jesus, because in my opinion, a Bible verse a day helps keep the bad vibes away. And you guys got, nothing shall be impossible unto you. Matthew 17:20. So that is a beautiful verse, and you know, who knows? This may be one of the things, this may be one of the lessons that you wind up learning while you're resting, reconsidering, and being in that hanged man position. You may be learning how nothing is impossible. You know, maybe like right now at the start of like this downward run into the new year, like at the end of the year and everything, maybe you have felt like things have been pretty hopeless and impossible, and like things just couldn't possibly turn around, or things couldn't possibly go your way. Well, I feel like one of the things that you're going to be reconsidering, and one of the things that you're going to be realizing, is that things are actually possible, and that just like there's every opportunity for something to go wrong, there is an opportunity for things to go right. And the right stuff is the stuff that you got to focus on. So yeah, I feel like that's something that you're going to be experiencing, something that you're going to be learning, and probably something that you're going to be teaching and passing down to others, so they can experience the same amazing blessings and joy that you're going to be experiencing, but they're going to be experiencing that for themselves in their own way in their own lives. But thanks to your assistance, of course. You know, that's kind of the idea. You know, as human beings, we should probably be there and help one another out. So anyways, that's basically what I have for you guys for the rest of 2021 for you. Hopefully this reading made sense and resonated. If the message didn't flow, of course, just let it go. But if it did make sense, please let me know and leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. And also, please give this video a big thumbs up. That definitely helps me out a lot too. Feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know of future videos when they are on the way. And also so you guys know when I'm going live. And, you know, like I said, I would love to have you guys out for a live Monday, Fridays, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Private readings, like I said, are open and available too. So as I mentioned at the start of this video, information about private readings and live readings and anything and everything else that you need to know is basically in the description box down below. So yeah, that's basically that. So I am just so incredibly thankful and grateful that you guys decided to stop on by here and hang out with me for a little bit today. It definitely warms my heart and means the world to me. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. Keep sparkling. I am sending you lots of hugs and much love. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose the Sunset Aura Quartz, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what is going to be happening for you for the rest of 2021. So yes, exciting stuff. Your 2021 wrap up here for the year's end. Okay, so we're going to get started here with the Tarot de la Nuit. And I'm just going to go ahead and lay these cards down, and we'll kind of put it together and see what it is that's going on, whatever it is that we need to know. We've got the Queen of Wands, the Six of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the Two of Wands. Okay. Alrighty, so let me see what's going on here with you guys. So I'm going to start off here with our Queen of Wands, And I feel like our Queen of Wands here is basically you. So I feel like you guys kind of embody who she is. And the Queen of Wands is someone who is very fiery. She's very passionate. She's very magnetic. So yeah, she's very outgoing. She's very sexy. She's, she's just got it going on, It's like she's got that star quality is the best way I can describe it. She's like the it girl, pretty much, She's like the one that everybody wants to be, pretty much. So she's got like a lot of sass and spice and everything nice in a sense. So, and it's funny because, once again, whenever I do these types of readings, I left it open-ended. It could be about career. It could be about love. It could be about a whole bunch of different things. But I think it's really funny that every time I ask just kind of generally what's going to happen for the rest of whatever, it usually always winds up tying into love. So I am seeing definitely like a love-related thing that could be going on here. So take it if it resonates. If it doesn't, it could be applicable in a different area of your life, apply it where it needs to be, if it makes more sense in something with like your career or whatever, then take it as that. But I do feel like this is kind of a love vibe coming through with this grouping, because I feel like if there is a certain person in your life, whether you guys are currently together or not, but if this is someone you have a strong connection with, I feel like this person sees you in that light. That they see you as that Queen of Wands. They see you as someone who is super sexy, someone who is super confident, and that kind of thing. And I feel like that the Nine of Cups here emphasizes that, because the Nine of Cups is, once again, it's like being single, it's being sexy, it's being confident, it's being basically good within your own worth and within your own value. You're probably someone who has already been through the ringer, so it's not like you're someone who gets super codependent on anyone. You're probably very comfortable, very confident being on your own. Of course, that's not to say that you wouldn't like to have a partner by your side, because I'm sure you would, but you're not dependent on it. Like, you're totally good rolling on your own, doing your own thing, being strong. Maybe you run your own business or something like that. You're able to take care of your kids on your own, whatever it is that you're doing. But I feel like you guys are definitely like that strong, independent woman kind of type, but not in a way where it's like icy or cold, because we don't have the Queen of Swords here. We've got the Queen of Wands here. So I feel like you guys definitely still, it's like, I don't know, maybe if it was like olden days, it would be like, how to drop that handkerchief and just let the guy come and get it. Like, oh, oops, I dropped my handkerchief. Oh my gosh. Kind of a thing. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. So you guys know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You're good. You see yourself in high value. You know that you're worth something. You know that you have high value. You know that you're in your worth. And then with the Six of Swords, it's kind of funny, because even if you look at her, like, I don't want to say that you guys are haughty and snobby or anything like that, but she's kind of got her nose up in the air like, I'm the best. I know that I'm better than anybody. So I feel like even this card kind of emphasizes the fact that you know that you're worth something. You know that you have value. Like, you're not going to let anyone drag you down. You have that confidence. Like, I feel like you guys are definitely a very highly confident group. And we have the King of Cups, and I feel like that would basically be the dude that you're probably dealing with. You're probably dealing with someone who's the King of Cups, who is full of love, but he's probably not as confident in a sense as you are. I feel like you're very confident. You could even be very opinionated. Like, I almost kind of get the vibe from you guys that you may be very opinionated too. And that when you express yourself, you don't like express yourself in a way where it's like you don't care. You do it because you do care. Sometimes people may misinterpret, your boldness and your honesty as being a little bit too honest. Like my best friend, for example, she gets crazy honest. I mean, especially when she's on her period and her hormones are raising, we basically call her Honest Abe, because she gets like a little too honest to the point where it hurts. But she never does it in a place where she's purposely trying to hurt you. It's literally out of love. And I feel like you guys may kind of be like that in a sense yourself, just because you are so bold and so brave and you don't hold back, which is awesome. But I feel like sometimes that can be a lot for this King of Cups. He loves you because he is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is someone who is filled with love. He has so much love for you and for others. And, you know, he's overflowing in love. But the issue with the King of Cups is sometimes he holds that love back. He's not exactly the best at being expressive with it. You know, that Wand's energy is highly expressive. Has no problems just letting loose and letting it out. Cups are different though. They may not necessarily do that. So sometimes you may get frustrated with this person because you have a lot of love for him too, but you're just like, hey, I'm out here expressing and showing and doing, and you're doing nothing. And it's not that he doesn't care, because he does. He has that love to give. He's just not good at expressing it. And that's not uncommon for men in general, whether they're the King of Cups or not. They're not exactly the best at that. You know, it's that whole stereotype of when they're little, you know, they're taught don't cry and all this other kind of stuff. But I feel like you want a confident man who's going to want to be comfortable making confident decisions when it comes to you and your future, and actually like stepping up and recognizing that worth and that value that you have. With the Two of Wands is about making decisions, but it's about making decisions from a confident place. It's like, you know that this is what you should be doing. This is how things should be happening. This is where you should be going. This is who you should be doing it with. Whatever it is, it's like you're confident about it. You're not wishy-washy about it. It is a confident decision. And I feel like either you want this King of Cups here to make some confident decisions when it comes to you, or you may need to make some confident decisions when it comes to him. But either way, it seems like there may be some crossroads that you guys may be encountering over the next few months where decisions need to be made, but they need to be made with confidence is what it comes down to. And I feel like that confidence is the key to you getting your 10 of Pentacles. And your 10 of Pentacles is basically your happily ever after, your ultimate fulfillment, you know, things basically just coming together and going right. So whatever that decision is, you know, it could be you making the decision in confidence to walk away from him. So somebody else may come along to give you that love that your King of Cups here doesn't want to bring to you. He doesn't want to express it. But I don't feel like for the majority of you, I don't feel like that's going to be the case. I'm just saying for some of you that might happen. For others of you, you just may wind up making the confident decision to be just like, hey, we're going to work on this. We're going to work through this. Not to say that you're going to force him to express yourself, because you can't. You can't force him to express himself, but you may be willing to make the decision to work with him confidently and be just like, okay, you know, I love you and I care about you too, and I'm going to let you take your time in expressing yourself in the way that works best for you, and I'm confident in making that decision that it is going to help us in the long run so we can have our 10 of Pentacles. But either way, like I said, I feel like decisions being made in confidence here is what's going to really, really help. Then we have some messages here from the Psychic Tarot, the Psychic Tarot for the Heart Oracle. And we have the third eye chakra. And we have the sacral chakra. You got two chakras coming through. You got manifest, find balance, strengthening bonds, and win or lose. Okay, so we got a few things going on this side to go along with what's happening on this side. So we got two chakras here. We got the third eye and we got the sacral. So the third eye is, you know, it's basically your third eye. It is, you know, that third eye in the middle of your head, basically, that sees things and knows things and understands things beyond what we see in the physical, beyond the 3D. It's that part of you that like is just able to see beyond the bullshit, see beyond things. So I feel like your third eye is probably going to be enhanced the remainder of the year. That could be how you're gaining some of your confidence, simply in what you're seeing in the third eye. And with the sacral chakra is our reproductive area. So there could be like some healing that might be going on in regards to reproductive kind of stuff and that kind of thing. Especially if, I don't want to hit like super sensitive stuff here, but especially if maybe some of you have been through like some sexual abuse or some kind of like sexual trauma or something like that, there could be some healing that may be happening later on in the year in regards to your sacral chakra. Or it doesn't even have to be anything as traumatic as abuse or whatever. You simply may need to do some like womb cleaning and womb healing and that kind of stuff. And there's lots of like meditations on YouTube and that kind of thing for that kind of stuff. It could even just be around like your beliefs and that kind of thing around the sacral area too. So, take it as it resonates. It could be a lot of things, but these seem to be the two main chakras that are probably going to be illuminated and highlighted a lot for you guys for the remainder of the year. Now, with Find Balance, I feel like you guys are going to have the opportunity to find balance in this connection. I feel like if it's been off balance, it's probably been because, once again, you are very like high value, high worth, highly confident in yourself. You have a lot of passion and drive. And I feel like in a lot of ways that may be intimidating to your King of Cups. It may be a lot for him. And because it's a lot for him, that may be where there's imbalance. And it's not to say that you need to stop being you and you need to like, water it down or anything, because you definitely don't need to do that for the right person at all. You need to keep shining, keep being you, keep sparkling, all the other kind of stuff. If anything, the areas that probably need to find balance is he probably just needs to like rise to the occasion is what it comes down to. And I feel like there's going to be opportunities to do that. That's kind of where these decisions being made and confidence needs to come in, because it's like win or lose, you've got this. And that's kind of like very much how someone who is the Queen of Wands would be. It's like she's got this, win or lose, because she's driven is what it comes down to. So even if she fails, she gets up, she does it again, she tries again. She doesn't stop until the losses turns into a win is what it comes down to. So, like I said, I feel like it's going to go one of two different ways. Either you're never giving up on this connection and you're still just going to keep plowing through and working through it. Or if it does become too much for you, you may put it aside so that way then someone else may come along, some other situation may come along where you could wind up finding someone who does rise to the occasion and who can handle all that sass and all that spice, and who can handle like this amazing bold personality that you probably have. And like I said, if you don't feel like you're like this bold, super confident, take life by the horns kind of person, this may not be the pile for you. Like if you're like, oh my gosh, like I don't know who you're talking to, but I'm intimidated by this person, then you may want to pick a different pile, because I definitely feel like this is a very specific type of personality that it's in reference to. But you guys have manifest here, and I feel like through the rest of the year, you guys are basically going to be manifesting your dream life. You're going to be manifesting here that 10 of Pentacles. You're going to be manifesting your happily ever afters, your happy endings coming true. Even if there are some ups and downs and in-betweens in the whole thing, you guys are going to figure it out. You guys are definitely going to get there. And like I said, for most of you, I feel like you're going to work with this King of Cups. I don't feel like for a lot of you guys, you're going to wind up walking away. It may be just a limited number of you who may be just like, no, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this King of Cups. He's not expressing his love. So I'm going to find somebody else who will. But I feel like for most of you, you will probably stick it out with him. You guys probably have a lot of confidence in yourself, but you guys probably also have a lot of confidence in him. You guys probably have more confidence in him than what he has in himself. So I feel like a lot of you guys will wind up helping him find his own confidence because you kind of give him that energy boost with it, and he'll eventually rise to the occasion. And when he does, it's going to help you guys strengthen your bonds. It's going to help strengthen things. And that's why I'm saying I feel like for most of you, you're going to work this out. You're going to stick it through with this King of Cups, because if you weren't, then you wouldn't be strengthening bonds with him, that's for sure. So I feel like you are going to wind up strengthening bonds with him, which, like I said, I feel like will wind up helping you guys manifest here your 10 of Cups. So, I will say this much. It doesn't matter which pile I have read so far, because, at this point, you guys are pile 3. I only have one more left to do after you guys. Every single pile, though, definitely seems to have this little journey that they're going to be going on throughout the end of the year, from here on out until like December 31st. But every single pile does seem to have this opportunity to have a happy ending to 2021 by the end of it. It's up to each pile, though, to do the work that's being asked of them in each pile. And I think most importantly for you guys, it's about continuing to standing in your worth, standing in your value, standing in that strength, setting the bar, being confident, just maintaining that energy basically, and inviting that King of Cups to join you, and, just kind of leaving things open for him to rise to that occasion. And also, working on that third eye here and that sacral chakra. So finally, I have a card here from Loving Words from Jesus for you guys. And you guys got, because in my opinion, a Bible verse a day helps keep the bad vibes away. I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you. John 14:18. So that is definitely a good reminder. Sometimes when we are in the in-between in certain things, life can feel awkward and uncomfortable and not exactly fun. So there may be times where it's just like, even though you may be very confident and, feel like you can pull whatever it is that you need off, it doesn't mean that you're not still human, that you're not still vulnerable, that you don't still go through things and sometimes feel a little awkward and uncomfortable yourself. But just remember that even in those awkward times and uncomfortable times, that, God is there with you. He's got you in the palm of your hand. He's going to guide you through this. He's going to help you through it. He's going to help you so you can strengthen the bonds that need to be, find balance in areas, and ultimately manifest your ultimate fulfillment and happiness there with that 10 of Pentacles. So that's basically what I have going on for you guys here for the rest of your 2021. So yeah, if it made sense for you, if it resonated, please leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. And if the message did not flow, of course, just let it go. Also, please give this video a big thumbs up. That definitely helps me out a lot. And feel free to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know of future videos when they are on the way. And also so you guys know when I'm going live. And like I said earlier, I am going live every Monday and Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I would love to have you guys out for that and see you for one of those. So you're definitely welcome to stop on by for that. Private readings are also open and available, so if you are interested in getting a private reading, just go ahead and shoot me an email and we will set that up. And yeah, and everything else that you need to know is down below in the description box as well, where you can find me and all the other kind of stuff. So yeah, all the 411 that you need to know is right there. So I just want to thank you guys for hanging out here with me today and spending a little bit of time with me. It definitely means the world to me. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Keep sparkling. I am sending you lots of hugs and much love. Hi, Pile 4. If you chose this very light blue, if you can kind of tell, doesn't look like super blue, but I promise you there's a blue tint in here, but it's very transparent. This very blue, transparent crystal. Don't know what it is, but if you chose this one, this is going to be the reading for you to find out what is in store for you. Like, actually here, if I put it up against the white, you can kind of see, I don't know. It makes sense to me, but then again, I'm the one sitting here looking at it like in person. So anyways, if you guys chose that one, enough trying to figure out the crystal. If you guys chose that one, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what's in store for you for the rest of 2021. What's going to happen here, what we need to know in general. So I'm going to go ahead and lay the cards down, and then we'll go ahead and put them together and see how they connect and link up with one another and what it all means. So you guys have the Five of Swords, Strength, the Devil, Judgment, the King of Pentacles, and the Lovers. Okay, and two of no surprise to me whatsoever. I do feel like, once again, even though it's supposed to be a general reading, I feel like for the most part this is probably about somebody's love situation. It's basically been like that for every single pile, and there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people seem to want to know more so about relationships and love and a particular person, more so than their career usually. Although, you know, if it resonates, if it makes sense for your career or some other part of your life, then please apply it where it does. It doesn't necessarily have to be a love thing, but I feel like for most people, it probably is going to be a love thing. And of course, that, especially in this group here, it's definitely revealed in the fact that you guys do have the Lovers here. So I feel like you guys are probably dealing with somebody who is your perfect match, who would be your lover, basically, because that's what the Lovers are. They're a perfect pair. They're, you know, it's divine feminine, divine masculine. They're two people who are meant to be together. It is a strong connection. It is a soul connection. It's, you know, somebody that you have that tie to, basically. So I do feel like that is what we're dealing with. And I also feel like whoever it is that you're dealing with, they're basically your King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles, he's a good guy. He is solid, he's stable, he's secure. You know, he makes a good husband, he makes a good father. You know, he's just the guy that you want if stability and security is what you want. You know, he's got that earth energy, he's very grounded is what it comes down to. So I feel like you're dealing with a very grounded dude. But because he is the King of Pentacles, the only drawback to Pentacles and that earth energy is, you know, the earth is slow. You know, we're not dealing with wands, which are fiery and passionate and just take off. We're not dealing with something like that. We're dealing with the earth, and the earth usually moves slow. I mean, even if there's an earthquake or something, sometimes you can feel it, and when you feel it, it feels like the earth is moving fast. But really, according to the earth, at least, in comparison to us, no, it's actually moving very slowly. If it actually moved fast, we would all be dead, is what it comes down to. So the earth moves slow. So when it comes down to your perfect pair here, when it comes down to your divine masculine, your divine counterpart, it may feel like your relationship, your connection with this person, it may feel like it takes a snail's pace, is what it comes down to here. It may take a while to get to where you want to go. But that doesn't mean he's not a good dude. That doesn't mean that it's not worth it, because, you know, the Lovers here would definitely be an indication that it would be worth it, especially for somebody who is as secure and solid as him. You know, he may do things slowly, but at least he's doing things right. He's getting it done right. It's not half-ass. It's not, you know, weird and discombobulated. It's getting done right. But I can see why there is a slow process here of what is going on, because we also have the devil. And the devil is usually an indication of some kind of karma in the connection. That doesn't mean that, you know, this relationship is a karmic relationship. It can be a divine relationship, but that doesn't mean that there's not karma within it that needs to be resolved. So that karma could be a lot of different things. It could be bad behaviors. It could be negative mental strongholds and mind frames that aren't healthy on either side that either one of you are holding on to. It could be addictions. It could be temptations. It could be a lot of different things. But regardless of what it is, I feel like there are probably some hiccups on both sides, because, you know, if one has some, like, let's say there's like mental bad behaviors. Like, it could just be like bad mental thoughts. Like, maybe someone struggles with negative thinking. You know, chances are if you're struggling with negative thinking, they're probably struggling with something too. If they're struggling with something, chances are you're struggling with something. It's never just, you know, one side of the street only, where it's only one person doing it. It's usually reflective on both sides. And the thing is, you know, once again, if this is your divine counterpart, if this is your person, if they're your mirror, you start shaping up and shipping out your life, they're going to start shaping up and shipping out their life. So I do feel like you guys are going to be addressing some karma and working through some shit, basically, throughout the rest of the year. So it may not necessarily be easy, and there may be some challenges ahead when it comes to this situation. With the Five of Swords, the Five of Swords is about putting up your defense, basically. It's like defending your territory or whatever. Kind of like in a fight, in a battle. You know, even her on the card, you know, it's like she's got this, it's not even a sword. It looks like a stake. It reminds me of, like, you know, a brunette Buffy the Vampire Slayer, basically. You know, she's got a stake. It's like she's ready to kill a vampire. But yeah, but she looks defensive. She looks like she's on the defense. So, I feel like this defense, though, I don't feel like it's so much that, like, you're going to be defending your connection or you're going to be defending your person. Unfortunately, I kind of feel like more so the defensiveness here is kind of connected to the devil. I feel like either you or your person or both of you may be a little defensive to go through the karmic loop, is what it comes down to. Like, to finish out the karmic cycle. Like, basically, once again, going back to the negative thoughts example, if you are experiencing negative thoughts, you may put up your defense here and be just like, I don't do that. Like, no, I don't think negatively. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. I don't do that. So that's where I'm saying that defense may come from. It may be kind of coming from a place of denial. Like, no, I don't do that. I'm not as bad off as you say I am, or you think I am, or whatever it is. You're gonna be like, no, I'm fine. Like, I don't do that. Psh, whatever. So I feel like there may be a lot of that going on. But yeah, I feel like that's where there may be some defense happening in regards to, like, the karma that needs to be worked out here. And I don't feel like it's just going to be you. I feel like it could be on their end too. You know, like, I feel like if there's some kind of karma that they're in, they may be just like, no, this is fine. This is good. Like, maybe their karma is, maybe they have an addiction. Maybe they, like, you know, maybe they would prefer to just, like, after they're done working or something like that, maybe they would prefer to go home and, you know, kind of escape from the stress of the world by, like, smoking pot or something like that. Like, maybe they're just smoking weed to try and curb their anxieties and stress from the adult world, and they just want to, like, get lost and escape through video games or something like that. And there's nothing wrong innately with doing those things, but maybe they do it to the point where it's like an addiction, that it's an addictive behavior where it's not very healthy and it's not very conducive to helping them live their best life, basically. So they may put up their defense being like, no, you know, I just need to, smoke this weed to take the edge off, and playing video games from the moment I get home to work until like 3 a.m. is like helpful for me or something like that. They may put up a defense in that way. That's just an example, but I feel like, in either situation, I feel like both of you guys may kind of approach it from a place of denial and defense, like, no, I don't need to do that. I'm fine. I don't need to do that. But I feel like your hands are on both sides are going to be kind of forced, where it's like, no, you're going to be forced to have to deal with stuff, because if you guys don't start dealing with stuff, I feel like basically God is going to come along here and pass judgment on you guys and be just like, no more bad behaviors, no more addictions, no more negative thinking, no more of this karma crap. It's time for you guys to get your act together, because if you guys really want to come together and be this amazing pair, you can't keep doing that if you keep doing this. So I feel like if you guys don't start choosing to do it yourself, working through these things, if you don't stop putting up your defense here, God's going to kind of force it in some circumstances, basically, and pass some judgment onto both of you and be just like, nope, I'm going to make sure that you guys get through this, because you can't stay in the muck forever, pretty much. And with strength here, I feel like this is basically saying that you guys do have the strength to overcome this. Whether judgment is passed on to you or not, you have the strength to do this. You don't have to be defensive towards it. You have the strength to overcome whatever obstacles, whatever karma there is. And I feel like for most of you guys, I feel like it's definitely like mind frames. I feel like it's mindsets. I think it's negative, crappy mental thinking, because even all of our thoughts, all of our feelings, all of our actions, all of our actions and all of our feelings are molded by what we think, by what we focus on. Because the more we focus on something, it's going to make us feel a certain type of way, and that's going to, trigger us to either take some particular type of action or not to take some kind of particular type of action. But either way, it all starts with the thoughts. So I feel like you guys have the strength to correct your brain, basically. Think of your brain as like a computer, is what it comes down to. It really is like a computer. Like, for example, let's say you're an iPhone user like me. With all the different software updates that they do on the iPhone, chances are, if you still have like an iPhone 4S, you're not getting all the updates that there are nowadays. So, I know people don't like spending tons of money on phones year after year, and it's not that you have to. I mean, it's 2021 now, and I have the iPhone 10, and that came out when? 2000 what? It was like 17 or 18, somewhere around there, somewhere around like 2017 or 2018. So I've had this phone for a few years. Thankfully, it still works, but I do all the updates as it needs to, and if it ever gets to the point where I actually have to upgrade my phone and actually get a new phone, then I will. But chances are, if you're still operating off of whatever operating system forever and a day ago, and you have a 4S or whatever, you're missing out on a ton of stuff. You got to upgrade these things. Your mind is no different. Your mind needs to be upgraded with things too. You can't be sitting back in the old way of thinking forever and a day. It's a process. It's something that should be constantly developed. So I feel like you guys are going to be dealing with a lot of mind frame stuff being worked on. Like, I got to be honest with you guys, I don't feel like it's going to be an easy year wrap up. Not to say that it can't end well, because it could end well. It could end with your love connection here coming together, but it's going to take some work. There's going to be some challenges that are going to be coming along. But I think the most important thing is for when those challenges come along, to not be defensive and to find the strength within to kick karma's butt. So we also have some psychic tarot for the heart oracle cards to take a look at. And we have nurture, opportunity beckons, balance, Simply Love, the throat chakra, and giving and receiving. Okay, so I see a few different things going on here. Number one, like I was just saying, you guys, I do feel like there is going to kind of be this challenge for this group, basically over the next few months going into the new year. So it's going to be important for you guys to nurture yourself from here on out. You know, that's going to be the best way to ensure that you guys are not overly defensive. It's going to be the best way to help you guys find your strength that you need in order to press on and push through this season of what could be difficult for you. So definitely make sure you're taking time to nurture yourself. That's going to be a huge assistant for you. We also have opportunity beckons, and even though you guys may feel very frustrated and almost in a sense you may feel kind of blocked during this time, there's also going to be a lot of opportunities coming your way through this. And I feel like those opportunities are ultimately going to be opportunities to better yourself, to take things to the next level, to, you know, have healthier and better perspectives, to really work on your mind frames, and ultimately to have the opportunity to have this situation here with your person, you know, to have the lovers basically come through and to have your perfect match work out. But there's going to be a lot of opportunities here. So it's kind of like every time you do experience a challenge, look at those challenges as opportunities. Don't look at them as obstacles. Don't look at them as things to stop you. Don't look at them as a bad thing. Instead, get excited about it and be just like, okay, all right, we got a new opportunity for me to work things out. You know, change the way you see it. Flip the script. And we also have Simply Love. So with this card, you know, it kind of looks like a father and a son on this card, you know, like a father-son type of love, which, you know, it doesn't necessarily imply romantic love, but I feel like ultimately here what it's saying with Simply Love, it's kind of like saying as you're going through this karmic-y, icky kind of time here where you're going to have to find a lot of strength, another one of the best ways to do that is to love your person with simplicity. And I feel like that what that's basically saying is really do it from an unconditional standpoint. Like in a parent-child relationship, a lot of the times, at least in a healthy parent-child relationship, that parent will just love on that child. It doesn't matter how many times that child screws up and does something wrong. You know, look at the story of the prodigal son, for example. You know, he left, he partied, he lost all his money, he screwed up his life, he came home, and his dad could have scolded him and be just like, I told you so, blah, blah, blah. But he didn't. He welcomed him with open arms and he threw him a party. So he was that happy and he was that excited to have his son come home because he loved him unconditionally. He loved him in its purest form, in simplicity. And I feel like this is basically saying the same thing with like you and your person. It doesn't mean you have to, you know, love your person like a brother or a father or son or any kind of thing like that. But it's just saying, you know, get beyond the romantic urges in a sense and try to love him more so from like an agape love type of stance. And agape love is like that God love, which is unconditional, which is the kind of love that we should be striving to have for everyone in our lives. And then we also have giving and receiving and balance. And I feel like these two cards kind of go together. So during this time, obviously, of working through this karma with, you know, that devil energy coming through, it's going to be an opportunity for you guys to find balance. And what's especially cool about this balance card, because there's another balance card in this deck. Hold on. I think I have it right here. I'm just going to show it to you guys because I think... Oh, well, this one says find balance. But either way, it's about balance. But this one here in particular, what I think is really cool is the way that they're showing balance is through that feminine and masculine energy, because we've got the woman and we've got the man, we've got the feminine and we've got the masculine, and they're merging together in this card. They're merging together as one, which to me is very much like a twin flame kind of thing here. You know, the feminine and masculine coming together, two becoming one. It's like marriage in a sense like that. You know, it's like that verse, they two become one. And I said this recently in my video tangent about healing. It was one of the things that I mentioned. But, you know, the one thing that they don't mention in the Bible, though, when it comes to two becoming one, is they never talk about the becoming part. And the becoming part is not easy. It just doesn't miraculously happen. It's a process to actually become one. So I feel like you guys are going to be experiencing quite a bit of that process over the course of the next few months. And part of figuring that out goes into giving and receiving. And a lot of the times in these connections, the giving and receiving is usually the thing that is off balance. Usually it's one person who is putting in more time, more energy, more effort than the other. And that's usually an area that needs to find balance. So that's why I feel like these two cards kind of go hand in hand. And once again, I feel like that's part of the karma here that's going to be worked out between the two of you, is you guys are going to be finding your happy medium. You're going to be finding what works in terms of balance. And ultimately, so there is an equal and even exchange between the both of you. So that way then it's not one person doing everything and the other person just doing all the receiving, but that there's this equal, nice exchange between both of you in the giving and receiving department. And finally, we have the throat chakra. And the throat chakra is obviously in regards to, like, you know, your vocal cords, your voice box, you know, pretty much your throat area. And to me, it's very much about speaking. So you could be doing a lot of healing with your throat chakra over the next few months. And one of the ways that could be healing for you is to talk and have difficult conversations with this person. That may be part of the way to work through some of this karma here, is to put down your defense when you talk to this person. Find your strength to really listen to them, and find your strength to really speak your truth in an open and honest and loving way. So that way you can work things out with this person. But I feel like you're going to need to use your voice. You're going to need to talk. So definitely the throat chakra is going to be involved for you guys as well. Finally, I have a card here from Loving Words from Jesus, because in my opinion, a Bible verse a day helps keep the bad vibes away. And you guys got, take therefore no thought of the morrow, for the morrow shall take thought of the things of itself. Matthew 6:34. So this card is basically saying, don't worry about tomorrow, is basically what it's saying, which is true. You know, a lot of the times as human beings, we don't really sit in the present moment. We're usually focused on something that happened in the past, or we're worrying about something in the future. And it's really hard to just be in the present moment and say, hey, this is where I'm at right here, right now, today, in this moment. We got to stop, like, getting ourselves too far behind or too far ahead. So, you know, don't worry, be happy. Don't worry about those things. You know, we never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow could be better than you even imagine. So try not to worry about it. Try not to fret about it. Either way, God has it covered. And that could be another one of the things that you may have to learn through this whole process too over the next few months. But either way, that's what I see going on for you guys. Hopefully it made sense and it resonated. If the message did not flow, of course, just let it go. But if it did make sense, please let me know and leave a comment down below. Also, please give this video a big thumbs up. That definitely helps me out a lot too. Feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know of future videos when they are on the way. And also so you guys know when I'm going live, which, like I said before, I go live every Monday and Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Private readings, like I said, are open and available too. So all the information you need to know, whether it's about private readings, live readings, or anything else, you can all find that down in the description box below. So you can check that out if you're interested. And yeah, otherwise, I am just so incredibly grateful and thankful to you guys for hanging out here with me and spending a little bit of time with me today. It definitely warms my heart and means the world to me. So, yeah, that means a lot. So keep sparkling. I am sending you lots of hugs and much love.